Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next movie review. And this time we'll be reviewing of the 1986 comedy film, The Money Pit, starring Tom Hanks, which he's always been a great actor. And then he also stars Shelly Long, which she would star in Cheers, and also in the series of Frasier. But, The Money Pit from 1986, it's directed by Richard Benjamin, which also he's an actor also as well. And Richard Benjamin, as an actor, I remember he starred in the film Westworld, the film that Michael Crichton directed. Was to start with him, James Brolin, and Yul Brynner as the gunslinger. He's the one that Yul Brynner, after he kills James Brolin, he's the one, Richard Benjamin is the one that Yul Brynner chases. So I mostly remember him as starring in Westworld. But as a director, he directed films like City Heat. He directed this film called City Heat. I think that's the one that he did with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds. I think I remember. I mean, despite two great actors, though, I remember not a fan of that film, honestly. But he directed a film called Downtown, which I thought was pretty good. He directed Mermaids, that was with Christina Ricci and Bob Hoskins. And he also directed Milk Money. That also starred Ed Harris. And he also directed other films like Little Nicotia and My Stepmother is an Alien. And then the last film that he directed was I still say is his worst film, called Marcy X. That starred Lisa Kudrow and Damian Wayans. I still think that's his worst film. That was the last film he did, so yeah, no wonder. Yeah, a panned film, and that just pretty much stopped. He stopped directing films after that. Then, but The Money Pit, was a fun film because first of all, I've always been a fan of Tom Hanks, which I don't think he hasn't do much. He hasn't done that much recently, you know. Not that I know, but Tom Hanks from back then. I remember I enjoyed the comedies he did back then, you know. I mean, he did Bachelor Party was fun, this film. The Burbs is a great comedy that Joe Dante directed with him. I enjoy The Burbs. That's one of his better comedy films he did. And then afterwards, you know, of course, in the 90s, he started doing more drama and stuff like, Forrest Gump, I enjoy. Philadelphia. Of course, Saving Private Ryan. Of course, he voices Woody in the Toy Story movies, of course. But like every week he was getting those Oscar nominations, you know, and he stopped doing comedies like these, you know. And that's sad because Bachelor Party, The Money Pit, The Burbs were fun comedies that he did, like these type of comedies, you know, and but so the other films I still enjoy, like I said, you like Forrest Gump, like I said, Saving Private Ryan, Philadelphia, I know some of the later work, he did a film called Cabin Phillips. He did. Then there was Bridge of Spies. I haven't seen some of the other ones he's done though. There was a film he did. It wasn't for theaters, but it was like for Apple TV. It was like another one of those war films called Greyhound. Actually, I'm minding that movie. There was a film called West from News to the World, and then there was a Man Called Otto, where he was just playing a grumpy old man. but he doesn't do those comedies anymore. Sad to say, though. That's why I was enjoyed him seeing from the time his time from the 80s doing comedies like these, you know. But on top of that, not only that, it's produced from Amblin Entertainment, you know, Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy, and Steven Spielberg were producers on these. And also, among other cast members, you have Alexander Godunov, known for playing Carl from Die Hard. I know he was also in role in The Witness. That was the one with Harrison Ford I reviewed a while back. He was one of the Amish residents over there. But Alexander Godunov, he plays Shelley Long's ex. But it was fun to see him in this. He was acting, outside being more of the serious villainous role, or seeing him doing goofy comedies like these, being acting all silly and goofy and stuff like that. It was fun to see that, Sadly, he passed away way too soon, sad to say, though. But also, he was also, like I told before, he was also experienced some ballerina as well. And among other cast members, some recognizable people as well to help fix the house. You have Joe Mantegna, from Baby's Day Out to Eye for an Eye, or TV show Criminal Minds, or small roles like from Three Amigos, I remember. Frankie Faison, I remember he was known for playing Barney. He was the orderly from Silence of the Lambs. Of course, he was also in Maximum Overdrive as well. Highwayman with Jim Caviezel. He has a role in this. Michael Jeter from playing Dale from The Green Mile, or Snively from Air Bud, and Udesky from Jurassic Park 3. Michael Jeter, he's also he's also passed away too as well. So, but it was nice to see Michael Jeter in this. And the film did pretty good, decently overall, box office wise, but critical wise, people were mixed on it. Like it's a 50% Rotten Tomatoes, does have a 6.4 on IMDb, so it's been mixed. But overall, to me, it was still a fun film, and it was fun. Shelley Long and Tom Hanks, they were fun together. The story is, it's kind of not much of a plot though, but the story is, in short, they play a couple. Tom Hanks is a lawyer, and Shelley Long works in music. They've been kicked out of their apartment, so they're trying to find a place to live. And then, long story short, they come across this big mansion-like house. Supposed to be like, looks like $1 million house, but they got it for cheap, $200,000, I think it was. Which obviously, for something that's supposed to be that looks expensive, you got cheaper. Obviously, there's supposed to be red flags, so it should be flying right. So, but they take it anyway, and of course, as soon as they buy it, the whole house starts falling apart. That's basically the whole rest of the movie, right? The whole running gag of things of this house keeps on breaking apart. As soon as they shut the door, it falls off, and the hinges fall off. Or, what... And you also get some pretty... And all this is done for real, no CGI. Everything of this house keeps on breaking apart. Like, when Tom Hanks is walking up the stairs, it's breaking apart. Or, for instance, which also gives some pretty good stunt work as well. Kudos to the stunt people. Who'll help do all the physical stuff, Or when... like when they're cooking a turkey, the oven just shoots the turkey out, goes through the window, turkey's ready. Or they try to fill up the tub with water, it just goes right through the floor. And I like Tom Hanks' reaction when he starts laughing. He's like, ha ha ha. This how the way he uses his laugh when it falls to the floor. It was hilarious. This funny thing is though, my dad, he was not really overall big on this movie set. The thing is though, I think my mom thinks it's a funny film, I think, but my dad, he was not really big on this movie, honestly. I asked him, hey, The Money Pit, and he's like, he can't give me this, reaction, well, wasn't really, the overall thought was funny, though. To put it mildly, right? So, yeah, it's another one of those films that my dad was not really big on. But I still think it's a fun film, regardless. So just like I said, it's how he's laughing when as soon as the tub falls on the floor, just... Or the moments where he gets stuck in the floor. He's on the rug though, but he gets stuck in the hole in the floor. He's stuck like this. And you get some very fun quotes of dialogue too, as well. For instance, when it was when Tom Hanks is like, Mozart is dead. Mozart is dead. His problems are over. Help me! Help me! Eh. And then or what Tom Hanks talking to saying, he's like, what does Max has got? What has Max got that I haven't got? Walls. And then Tom has the one where it's like, here lies Walter Fielding. He bought a house and it killed him. So you get some pretty fun lines of dialogue in this. So is this basically the gist of the movie? Is just the whole running gag of the house falling apart, and they have to spend money, they hire a crew to fix it up, right? But ends up making it worse. I mean, among the crew members, you have Joe Mantegna, who pretty much leads most of the group, the carpeting and stuff. Frankie Faison, Michael Jeter, they try to help fix the house as well. And basically the gist of the whole premise of the film, right? So basically, it's not much of a plot until like the last like 15 or so minutes of the movie, which I kind of felt like they shoehorn in because this whole film is a whole running gag of trying to fix the house up and things keep breaking apart. So you have to throw like a little bit of a serious plot in there, and skipping to the third act, right? Because they kind of Tom Hanks like has this thing where Shelly Long kind of was like sleeping back with his ex Andrew Godunov, and they kind of fight back and forth, but of course we know they're not gonna end up fully break up. They end up getting back, right? So of course Shelly says like no, we didn't sleep together. No, we didn't. And Tom was like, oh, okay, that's even better. Because he was gonna say, well. Before he's like, well, I don't really care you slept with them, but then it's when he says, oh, we didn't though, and he's like, oh, even better. So, but that's basically the whole gist of the film, just like which I kind of felt like the whole serious breakup plot was kind of coming out of left field because you have to throw in a little serious moment in the movie because to top with this whole comedy of running gag of the house falling apart, and. I think that they just kind of came out in left field. They had to throw something in there, that's serious. But regardless of all that, and this may be shorter than usual because there isn't much of a plot to talk about. It's just basically them trying to fix the house up. The running running gags of the house. Each part of the house is falling apart. But and like I said, kudos because none of it's done CGI. It's not done CGI. It's all done practically for real. I mean, you have to do a lot of time and stuff to make the parts of the house just like fall apart for real. I mean, decent stunt work. We have Tom Hanks trying to walk up the stairs, things it's falling apart, or there's another part where he's walking across a certain part and he ends up flying, going to here and another part of the house, and all the stunt work done for real. Which you said you have to do the timing right when the stuff has to fall apart, right? That's pretty kind of like critical moments we had to for the right time for it to break right. So I do appreciate the stunt work, all the practical stuff of the house bringing it apart. But I said his reaction when the tub fell, he's just laughing like ha 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 ha. That was just funny too, and some funny, like I said, moments of funny lines of dialogue as well, like with coming from Tom Hanks. And I thought Richard Benjamin did pretty good with this film. It was a fun film, I mean, probably one of his better movies because I think Downtown I also like as well. Marcy X, forget about it. That was his worst. City Heats, I'd say I wasn't an overall fan of though, despite two great actors like I said, Burt Reynolds, Clint Eastwood, but I had to say I wasn't an overall fan. But Milk Money, but. I still overall say this is a pretty fun film though. Still, regardless though, Tom Hanks was good. Same with Shelley Long. Was nice to see some familiar faces in there like Joe Mantegna, Frankie Faison, Michael Jeter, and Alexander Godunov, he was fun to watch him being this like outside the serious villain roles like being fun, silly, and stuff like that. So, yeah, so that's the Money Pit. Fun. Like I said, I missed the comedies that Tom Hanks used to do, stuff like this. I still do, like from Bachelor Party, this film, The Burbs. I still miss those comedies he used to do. But now he's just doing basically just drama and other stuff, other than voicing Woody from Toy Story, though. But he doesn't do comedies like those anymore, and it's sad. But like I said, like my dad, he wasn't really. When I asked him usually, I was like, "Oh, you never thought that was funny?" He's like, "No." Well, so we all have opinions, right? My mom likes the film, my dad doesn't. So, yeah, like I said, to each their own. But regardless, though, still a fan of Tom Hanks. So that's the Money Pit. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next movie review and more episode reviews, and we'll see you next time. Later.